Welcome agents to this Ingress video where we're going to have a look at the reintroduction of the Seer medal. It's a very popular medal and I know a lot of people have wanted it back for a long time. We're also going to take a look at how to submit a portal. So if you go to the news section and you click on the link, it says, Agents, the time has come to rebuild the foundation of the Portal network. On Operation Portal Recon, we are thrilled to announce that Operation Portal Recon OPR is returning to Ingress at the following address. Operation Portal Recon is the dedicated system where agents review and evaluate new portal submissions and edits directly shaping the world you play in. Unlike Niantic Wayfarer, access to OPR is available exclusively to Ingress agents only at this time. Access to the revived OPR system will begin a phased rollout starting next Monday, November 10th, 10 AM PST to level 16 agents and recursed agents. We will expand access to more agents in the future and we appreciate your patience as we ensure OPR is stable and effective. If you're an eligible level 16 or recursed agent, on or after Monday, November 10th, you'll be able to log in and begin or restart your Recon mission. Your task in OPR is vital by accurately reviewing submissions, ensuring they meet criteria, are safe and are not duplicates. You will directly influence the growth and quality of the Ingress map. Seer medal reinstated. In addition to OPR returning, the Seer medal will also be reinstated. The medal will now be based on the portal's discovered stat on your agent profile. Agents will receive credit for portal candidates accepted, while Seer was paused. The existing Seer point stat will be renamed Archival Seer Points for easier distinction. We thank you for your dedication. The world around you awaits, Agent Ingress. Now I know this is a very sought after medal that a lot of people have been really wanting to come back. It's a nice looking medal too, and it does have its benefits, but it also has its drawbacks as well. I know a lot of people have put a lot of effort into traveling to different places and expanding the Portal network so that this game is accessible to everybody, and I think that's brilliant and really what this medal is a celebration of, and so that's completely commendable and hopefully what people are going to be doing and using this medal for in the future. There is also, unfortunately, a bit of a selfish element as well, so maybe we've got a few players that want a home portal and they're submitting anything and everything they can in range of their house, or maybe they just want a lot more portals in their area and things that aren't really points of interest they're submitting with the hope that they just sneak through so that they've got more portals to play with, which isn't exactly great, is it? So with that in mind, we'll play a little bit of a game at the end of this video as to what makes a good portal and what is absolutely dreadful. In the meantime though, let's have a look at how you actually introduce a portal into the network. So I've gone to the middle button on my scanner, clicked on notifications in the top right hand side, and I've just dragged my location to that building on the aerial photo, which you can see from here in real life. It is a church, and yes, there are still churches out there in the UK that aren't portals yet. I couldn't believe it myself. So I've positioned myself at the best angle I could find to actually take a picture of this church in the sunlight, and I like to take the pictures on a landscape image because if you do it like that, then the whole image that you're capturing there goes into the portal picture that you'll see later on as well. And now for the second image, it's a location-based image, so what I'm doing is I'm just positioning myself where you can see the portal itself, so there's part of the church on the left-hand side, but also in the distance there is part of the street where the church is actually located. So the reviewer, the person that is actually reviewing this later, can see maybe the church next to some of the buildings when they're looking it up on Street View, and it just means that it's easier to verify that the location that I put it on is the right location. The next thing it's going to ask you for is a title. So here we've got Stonegrave Minster, and the thing that I'm pretty particular about, and you should be too, is the punctuation here. And so I do a lot of edits when I come across portals that are poorly punctuated. This is a title, so don't do what I'm currently doing, and that is a case of making sure that there is no punctuation whatsoever. Even adding a full stop, that's pretty dreadful. This isn't a sentence. Make sure that each word has got a capital letter, and that's absolutely fine. You know, it'll stand like that. If it is a silly little word like the or an or something like that, and it's in the middle of the title, not the first word of it, then absolutely you can give that a lowercase letter to start it off. But otherwise, it's just going to need a capital letter at the start. Be picky because it looks much better. For the description then, you can see the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of research. So I've gone to Wikipedia, I found Stonegrave Minster, and I'm looking at a few details that I can actually add. It doesn't need to be a history lesson, so it's not as if I'm just going to copy and paste all of this. That's a bit rubbish. Take the salient features, the key points, and then turn them into your own words, type them out, and again, punctuate them properly. And then you'll get a decent description that isn't just a giant monologue or giant essay on this particular place, and it'll be much better than if it's just a couple of words and no description, really, nothing like historically significant. It actually makes it a little bit more of an interesting point of interest if you can actually read a few things about it whilst you're actually playing the game. So pages like Wikipedia are great for this. If you've got something that is historically significant, anything on Google is also pretty decent. Obviously, you can't write an essay or you can't write a long description for every single portal. Some of them are just playgrounds. And what are you going to write about that other than there's a slide? But put the effort in if it is actually significant or culturally significant, like you can see that I'm doing here as well. It makes it a little bit more rewarding, and it's a little bit better for the reviewer to see that you've actually put some effort in there too. Once you've finished doing all that description then, and you've got the title accurate, just go through the last couple of checks. It'll give you the opportunity to do so, and it'll give you the opportunity to have a look and make sure you've positioned it right, the pictures are all good, before asking you for any kind of additional statement to the reviewer as to why this is a worthwhile point of interest. So in this case, I'm going to write place of worship, and obviously something that is culturally significant, which is what I'm going to put in the box there. But to give you an indication of the kind of things that actually a reviewer really doesn't want to read, and especially after a wave of, let's say Pokemon players, you don't really want to see more stops with lots of Zs, maybe some exclamation marks, more spelled MOAR, because that's just rubbish. So don't do that. Don't be one of those people. Obviously, you could be one of those people that puts more portals with lots of Zs and exclamation marks or dots, basically, if you are feeling equally stupid, but that's not really in the spirit of the game. So place of worship and something about it being culturally significant would be just fine in this instance. So once you're done then and you've finished your small message to the reviewer, all you need to do is press the submit button. It'll take a little while to upload it to Niantic Spatial. You'll get an email, and then hopefully somebody will be reviewing it pretty soon. You get this message which says thank you for your contribution, and it's just now going to be a waiting game. So with that said then, I'm going to head back to my car at this point, and we can have a quick look at my Seer medal. It's right there, and at the time of recording I've got almost 700 Seer points on that medal, which takes me to platinum, which is absolutely awesome. The one thing about this medal that is really kind of irksome is the fact that to get the Onyx badge, it's 5,000. I don't even think that there are that many portals left to submit where I live so that I could actually get the Onyx, which is kind of crazy. And if you ever see somebody with an Onyx Seer medal, like, very well done. They must have been involved very heavily at the start of the game to get that many portals into the game. I think I've only ever seen it once. Anyway, as you can see, I've also found one that doesn't have the greatest of titles here, so I figured I'm gonna edit this one whilst I'm at it. So if you click on the portal like I did, and then you've got the three dots in the top right hand side, it gives you the option to edit that portal. And so I'm just adding a couple of capital letters because I'm a bit pedantic when it comes to punctuation and grammar and just how things appear. So if this was your portal, I don't mean to insult or anything like that. It's just a case of I'm just going to correct a little bit of your punctuation so that it looks a little bit nicer on the scanner and for other people to see that it's correct there too. With that being said then, we can always have a look at Operation Portal Recon. So if you fancy some of that online drudgery, then by all means go to Niantic Spatial's website and sign in. You can set your language and you can have a look at the lovely welcome message that's going to come directly after it. there it is. The other thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to pass a test as to what makes a good portal and how to actually review portals, which I've already done, so I can't take you through that, but you can see a few different things that it's going to ask you to do. This is me actually just going back onto the website after the change over to Niantic Spatial. The next thing that you can see here then is it's going to give you a little bit of a reminder about what goes into a good portal. There are 4 key pillars that they're going to advertise to you, and you just flick through them in this slideshow. Number 1 being it's safe and it's publicly accessible by pedestrians. So if it's in the middle of a road, no, that is not a portal. Definitely don't submit it. The next one then is that it is permanent, physical, tangible, and identifiable. So if it is something like love, as sweet as that is, it's not tangible, it's not a portal. Obviously then the best locations are good for exploration and exercise or for being social, fantastic. And then when you're reviewing, it also has to be accurate. If it's fake, then it's definitely not a portal, but clearly use your best judgment. If it is a good point of interest to you, then you're probably right and it's probably worth going into the game. But yeah, you do have to have a bit of integrity for this drudgery online. The next thing then it's going to ask you to do is to set a couple of locations. Number 1 being your hometown location and 2 being your bonus location. And the reason why it's going to ask you to do these then is that when you actually do the reviewing, you're more likely to see portal submissions around these 2 areas. So if you've got a bonus location that you often visit, it's good to put that as your bonus location, obviously, because it means that if you are doing a bit of reviewing, you might get portals that are based around those areas, and then when you actually visit that area, you might actually come across some of those portals that you have put in or helped to put into the game through your reviewing of those submissions. So fantastic, that's what it's going to ask you to do. I'm currently on that page and setting a couple of locations myself in 2 areas that I play quite frequently, and once we've done that, we'll get to the next step. So once we've set those 2 locations, we are ready to start. It even says on the page, ready to start. You've got a couple more buffering pages, such as this curious one here that nobody knows what it's for, before you actually get sent to this page, which is featured portals. So every now and again this changes and you can see a nice submission that Niantic definitely approve of before clicking on that link next to it to begin reviewing, whereupon you get something that is hopefully as good. And in this case we can see an RNLI shop. You can also see that the punctuation isn't great and, I don't really approve. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, no, I've done enough of this. I'm not going to do any more. But the other great features that you've got on OPR then, you can have a look at some of your own submissions. You can see a few of mine as well. So there are cairns, a church, a few nice signposts. There's a couple of portal photo submissions and maybe a couple of edits here and there, a couple of places too as well. So pretty decent submissions. Hopefully you agree with the submissions that I'm putting on in this great big list, but these are the kind of things that go into the game quite successfully. And apart from that one there, which is red, it was not accepted. But other than that, I've had quite a decent amount of success when it comes to adding in portals into the game all over the world in lots of different locations that I've been lucky enough to travel to, which you can see on this page that I'm scrolling through at the moment. And of course there's also a bunch of these portals that are currently in voting, so it'd be great and exciting if they went into the game, although I probably won't be doing the Altavia one again anytime soon. I'll probably do another hike somewhere else. Yep, some of those portals are definitely for the benefit of the next person, not me, because I'll never ever see them again in my lifetime, but I like adding to the portal network and it just means that it's accessible to a few more people. Now we're going to have a quick look at a few interesting submissions. Make up your own mind, you might want to pause the video here and there to see if you agree, are these actually portals? Number 1, there it is. Is Bell End a portal? No, it's pretty obscene. Make sure your titles aren't stupid. What about this one? You might want to pause it. There's a lovely lighthouse. Is it a portal? Well, you can see I've given it 5 stars. Of course that's a portal. Obviously it needs public access, which this one did. I checked carefully. So yeah, completely. What about this tiny little sign about a hedgehog highway? Portal or not? Yeah, that one's utter rubbish. There's a million of those in the world. It is generic. How about that? It is a green pod thing. Portal? Not? Yeah, it's a load of rubbish. Deny it completely, it's not a portal. What about this? Interestingly, it is a ballpark. Spelt terribly, punctuated awfully. It is a portal, but not from the position that they've taken it in. And what a load of rubbish. Don't take pictures from your bedroom window. This one, the missing tree. Is that a portal? Something that is missing or not there? Yeah, load of rubbish. Definitely not a portal. How about that? A bunch of chickens. Somebody submitted this. Not a portal. What about this one? Do we really think that these are pull-up bars? It's a bike rack. Definitely not a portal. How stupid do they think reviewers are? How about this one? Somebody's artwork on their kitchen fridge. Weirdly named a postbox. Definitely not a portal. Refuse that one. It's rubbish. What about this one? A trigonometric point with a wonderful description. This is every reviewer's dream. These things are amazing. Definitely, if you know where one is and it's not in the game, submit it and submit it immediately. It's a brilliant portal. And yeah, I highly encourage you to submit those. Just finding them though is pretty hard. How about this one? A sticker of Donald Trump on a post. Yep, there's pretty much nothing more terrible than that. Definitely not a portal. Refuse it, reject it. Next one, a lonely little box. No, electric cabinets are not portals. Sometimes they're decorated wonderfully, in which case they can be, but in this case it's just a green box. It's terrible. Refuse it immediately. Good luck out there. Leave a comment and I'll respond, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.